Students, today we are discussing the superposition theorem. In last lecture we have seen the linearity property, and that linearity property or the linear relationship between the voltage and the current, we also discuss it here in this superposition theorem. So in this theorem we will see how that linear property is existing here in this superposition theorem and what is the superposition theorem. So first of all, the statement of superposition theorem is that the superposition principle, it states that the voltage across any element in a linear circuit is the algebraic sum of the voltages across that element due to each independent source acting alone. And if we are having the current source, then this means that this principle states that the current through an element in a linear circuit is the algebraic sum of the current through that element due to each independent source that is acting alone. So what is meant by this statement? Before telling this, I will discuss this theorem. While I am discussing it, then I will discuss about the voltage here as well as the current, but I will mainly focus the voltage here. So in this theorem, the foremost thing is the linear circuit, that is linearity properties is existing here, and it is telling us that the voltage and the current both are having the direct relationship, both are having the linear relationship. In this case, in this superposition theorem, we will see this, that the homogeneity property is also existing here, and as well as the additivity property is also existing here. So when we say about the homogeneity property, then if we multiply any input by a constant, then the output will also be multiplied by that constant. And if we say about the additivity property, then it means that the effect or the response while having all the sources present there, that is equal to the sum of the responses of that input while it is acting separately. So here in the superposition theorem we see this, when we are having, let's suppose, more than one sources here, you may say the voltage sources, let's suppose here, then when if any unknown thing that is present in that we have to find out, that let's suppose the total current of the circuit that we have to find out, and that is I. So first of all we will get the result I by having all the sources in that circuit. After doing that, we will use only one source and remove the other one and get the value of that I, that total current of the circuit, by having single input. After finding the value of that I, we will again find the value of I, but now having the other input while removing the first one input. When we get the result of I by having the other input, then we will add up both the currents, both the responses. That first one we have got by having the input 1, and after that we got that current by having the input of the other one, that is the input 2. Then we see this, that the sum of current that is equal to that current that we find out having the two sources in the circuit. So basically this is the superposition theorem. So always remember this, when we are solving superposition theorem, then at a time we will use single source. So this helps us to find out the linear circuits that is having the more than one independent source by calculating the contribution of each independent source separately, that I have discussed earlier. However, to apply the superposition theorem, we must keep two things in mind, and that two things, that the first one is the, at a time we will use only one independent source. That is, if we are having a current source, we are having the voltage source, then at a time we will use the single voltage source by putting the value of 0 of the other voltage source. Now how we can put the value of 0 of a voltage source? That we will short it, having the short circuit. What is the definition of short circuit? Basically, a short circuit is that circuit in which minimum voltage and the maximum current. And what is the minimum voltage? Minimum voltage is 0 voltage ideally. So we replace every voltage source by 0 volt, and we will use only a single voltage source. And if we are having a current source, then we also have to replace that current source by 0 ampere. Now how we can replace that current source with the 0 ampere? By having the open circuit. When we are having the open circuit, then the maximum voltage is there and the minimum current is flowing through that circuit. Then what is the minimum current flowing through that circuit? That is the 0 ampere ideally. So this is the way in which we can make our circuit simple. The dependent sources that are left intact, that we don't have to change anything in that, because they are controlled by the circuit variables. Now there are 3 steps that while we are solving for the superposition principle. So first of all, turn off all independent sources except one source, that at a time we will use a single source. Find the output voltage or a current due to that active source using the techniques that we have covered previously. That is, we are using the only one source, and if the output is, we have to find out is voltage or the current, then we will find that voltage or the current by using KVL, by using Ohm's law, by using nodal analysis, by using mesh analysis. By using all these techniques, we have to find out the value of voltage and current. In second step, we will repeat the step 1 of each of the other independent sources. Means if we are having the 2 independent sources, then first we will find out the value of voltage or current by having the first input, first source, independent source. Then after getting the value of our output, now we will use the other independent source, and then we will get the value of voltage and the current or any output that we have to find out. Now in the third step, find the total contribution by adding algebraically all the contributions due to the independent sources. That if we have to find out the value of voltage and current, let's suppose we are finding the value of voltage. So by having the first one independent source, we get the value V1. By having the other voltage source, other independent source, we get the value V2. So at the end we will get the value V, that is equal to V1 plus V2. That we are adding the outputs, that is we are getting by the inputs that are acting separately. So it can easily be understood by having an example, that now we are going towards that example, and after solving that example, this will be very clear to you. Okay, now we are having the example number 3, in which we have to use the superposition theorem to find the value of V in the circuit that is given below. Here V is this. V is the voltage of this 4 ohm resistor. Here we are having the 2 sources. First one is the voltage source, that is of 6 volt, and the other one is the current source, that is of the 3 ampere. So we have to find out the value of V. First of all, we will get the value of V. We will use only this source, this independent source, and let's suppose we will get the value V1. This V, let's suppose, well, we are using this 6 volt source, then this is V1, this became V1. Then we have to find out the value of this V1 while we are using only this source. and the putting this other source equal to 0. After that, getting the value of this V1, now we will put this independent source equal to 0, and by using this we will get the value V2 here. And after that, what is the superposition theorem? Superposition theorem is this V is equal to V1 plus V2. So first of all, we will put this 3 ampere current source equal to 0. So how we can putting this 3 ampere current source equal to 0? That by open circuit. We are opening this. So here, when there is the open circuit, then this current source will become equal to 0. So when this is the open circuit, then we will get the remaining circuit as this. Here these terminals are open. Here there was a current source, and now that current source is open. Remember this, when we are having the current source, then we will open that circuit, and when we are having the voltage source, then we will short that circuit. By doing this, we will get the value of that source equal to 0. So now by opening these terminals, we get this circuit, and this is only a series circuit, and here this is the V1. And what is V1? V1 is equal to 4I1, as it is a series circuit, and in series circuit the current remains same. So we can get the value of V1 first of all by using Ohm's law, that V1 is equal to 4I1, and we may also use the voltage divider rule. In voltage divider rule, V1 is equal to total voltage multiplied by that resistor whose voltage you have to find out, divided by the total resistance in that circuit. So if first of all we have to find out this V1, and we are using the Ohm's law that V1 is equal to 4I1, so we have to find the value of I1. So we can find the value of I1 by applying KVL here. So when we apply KVL here, then we will get this equation, 12I1 minus 6 is equal to 0, and from this we will get the value of I1 is equal to 0.5 ampere. So if we put the value 0.5 ampere here, then V1 is equal to 2 volt. But if we use the voltage divider rule, then total voltage is 6 volt multiplied by the resistor whose voltage we have to find out, that is the 4 ohm. 6 multiplied by 4 divided by 8 plus 4, and then V1 is also equal to 2 volt. It's up to you. You may find the value of V1 by using this Ohm's law or by using the voltage divider rule. Now comes towards the next circuit. Now here we get the value of V1 by having a single source. Now we have to find out the value of V2 by having this source. So this voltage source will be short circuited. When we will do this short circuit, then we will get the circuit as this. Here the voltage source has been short circuited. Now we are having the total current of 3 ampere, and this current has been divided between two branches. In first one branch we are having the I3, and in the second one branch we are having the current I2. So we have to find out the value of V2. So first of all we have to find out the value of I3, that this current is flowing through the 4 ohm resistor, and this V2 is equal to 4I3. And now what is the value of I3? So we can find out the value of I3 by using the current divider rule. So when we use the current divider rule, then this I3 is equal to total current multiplied by that resistor in which I3 is not flowing, that is the 8 ohm resistor, and divided by 8 plus 4. So I3 is equal to 2 ampere, and V2 is equal to 4I3. So V2 is equal to 8 volt. So at the end we can get the value of this V by adding V1 and V2. So when we add V1 plus V2, then we get the value of 2 plus 8, that is equal to 10 volt. So this is the superposition theorem. Now there is another example, and in this example we have to use the superposition theorem in order to find out the value of I, and this I is the current that is flowing through this 3 ohm resistor. Here in this circuit you may see this, we are having the 3 sources here, 3 independent sources here, in which 2 sources are the voltage sources and 1 source is the current source. For this example I will only give the hints and you have to do it by yourself. So first of all, as we have discussed earlier, that at one time we have to use only one source, one independent source. So first of all, if we are using this 12 volt source, then we have to short circuited this 24 volt source and we have to open this 3 ampere current. So if we do, let's suppose we are solving this for this 12 volt, we are finding the value of I, and that, let's suppose that is I1. Here you see this, that I is equal to I1, that is for the first source, then I2 that we will find by using the second source, and that is the I3 that we will find the value of I3 by having the third one source. So if we are using this 12 volt source, then what kind of circuit we will get? This voltage source will be short circuited and this current source will be open circuited, like this. Here this 24 volt source has been short circuited and here the current source has been open circuited. So we will simply get the, when we minimize this circuit, then we will get this thing. How we will get this circuit? As this, now this 8 ohm resistor and this 4 ohm resistor both are in series, as the current is having the same path. So we will get the value of 8 plus 4, that is equal to 12. And then that 12 ohm resistor is parallel with this 4 ohm resistor. So by solving this we will get the value of 3 ohm. And here this 3 ohm resistor in which the I1 current is flowing, then we will get the value of I1 from here. Now we will solve the circuit for the second source. Now let's suppose we are using this 24 volt source. When we are using this 24 volt source, then this 12 volt source has been short circuited and this 3 ampere current source will be open circuited. After doing this we will get a circuit like this. Here this 12 volt source has been short circuited and this 3 ampere current source has been open circuited. Now we will solve this in order to find the value of I2, and this will be done by yourself. Now we will see when we will have this current source and the other sources will be short circuited. Now here this 12 volt source and this 24 volt source, we will have to do the short circuit here and we will use this 3 ampere current source, and then we will find the value of this I. Now that this I has become I3. So by doing this short circuit and this short circuit here, we will get the circuit as this. In this 24 volt has been short circuited, 12 volt battery has been short circuited, and only the 3 ampere current source is here. So we have to find out the value of I3. You will find out this value by yourself by using any technique that you have studied before, and after that we will get the value of this. Then simply I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. So today's lecture was all about the superposition theorem, and here we have done some examples also. Do it. Also try to do the other examples as well as, and in the next lecture we will see the exercise questions and see how we can solve for current, find out the current and voltages here. But try to do all the examples, and if you have any question regarding this, then you may ask about these questions, and also as well as this example that I have given you to solve that, you may ask it from me if you have any query or any question regarding this. So that's all for today. Thank you.